Coming up next is Java Jazz.
It is 7 a.m. here in beautiful Passaic, New Jersey, and you're listening to WCCP, the sound of the City College of Passaic, broadcasting, as always, over the airwaves on 87.9 on your radio dial. And maybe you're watching this on the Zoom channel or something. I still don't understand what that is. I hope you have your warm drink in hand because you're listening to, in correction, this is the John Gentle Show. It previously was Java Jazz, but now it's the John Gentle Show. I'm John Gentle, taking over for my friend, Erwin Bernard Rosen, who hosted this show for many, many years. And this is, again, the John Gentle Show, not Java Jazz, but it is still the longest running jazz talk radio show in Passaic. If you missed last week's program, he's gone forever, and it's my show now. I'm joined here in the studio by a student. I don't think I ever got your name.
It's Eva.
Eva. Are you going to jazz? Did you say you were going to jazz tonight?
Me?
Curious about the quest for extrasolar worlds, how the telescope opened up the universe and other wonders related to the cosmos? That's a great show if you've never seen it. Then you'll want to make space on your calendar for the latest schedule of shows at the City College of Passaic at the Berkowitz Planetarium. Planetarium shows run Fridays at 7 and 8:15 p.m. and Saturdays at 2:30, 4, and 5:30 p.m. Tickets for all shows at $10 per person and can be purchased online at http:// that's 2 forward slashes bookstore.ccp.edu/Berkowitz-planetarium-ccp/ and then there's a dot. I'm not sure if it's a period or part of the URL. Online reservations are strongly encouraged. Limited tickets will be available for purchase at the door. Everything is so online nowadays. I can't, in fact, I go to my favorite diner, the Miss America Diner in Jersey City the other week, and this waitress is a very attractive young woman named Kathy. She laughs at my jokes. And she tells me, get this, the diner now has a queer code they go by. And she points to this futuristic logo and says, you need to scan the queer code with your cell phone. And look, Kathy, first off, I don't have a cell phone. Second off, I was going through Greenwich Village back in the day. I understand these are my brothers and my sisters and my third things. These are my people. I have been following the queer code my whole life, but at no point in the Stonewall riots was having paper menus a problem. Or laminated ones, or maybe sort of like a leather-bound, kind of harder menu. Maybe sort of like leather-bound folder style menu. I think it's fully in the queer code to have these types of things, and I think sometimes inclusivity maybe comes at a cost. That's all I'm gonna say. But I support the homosexuals and the omnisexuals, of course. Here's a poem about the diner. Monday night at the diner. Again, I'm sitting alone. It's not very fun to say table for one, but the staff makes me feel so at home. If this were a seesaw, this booth would be no fun. But if a stranger fills this seat, a friend they may become. So next time you're alone at your local diner or maybe your campus cafe and you see a man sitting alone, join him. Sometimes people sitting alone at the diner have the most interesting stories to tell. This one goes for you, kiddo. In fact, you could join me. I'm going to the campus cafe later. I'm a big supporter of wellness. And this is actually, this was one that's pretty close to my heart. This Wednesday on Zoom channel. This Wednesday on Zoom, Lieutenant Bill Keegan, founder and president of Heart 9/11, will lecture on the topic Pathway to 9/11 Healing, Mind, Body, Medicine. Room 100 in Gain Hall. Keegan served for 20 years with the Port Authority Police Department and as Night Operations Commander of the WTC, that stands for World Trade Center Rescue Recovery Teams. Ava, where were you on 9/11?
I think I was like in my mom's like stomach.
I saw the smoke. I was in Passaic, New Jersey, so close
You
to
saw it from
everything.
Passaic?
I saw it from Passaic. In fact, I probably breathed some of it in. That's kind of when it all went south for me.
Hmm.
My whole net life just took a negative turn on you know what day. And, you know, Barnes and Noble's booksellers started closing down, and everybody's talking about website this and that. Young people became harder to understand at both culture and speech. It even seemed like jazz maybe took less cultural capital in the modern world. And probably because of 9/11, I got lonelier.
I've never been to a Barnes and Noble.
You gotta go. Ava, what kind of books do you like to read?
Um, I've been reading Audrey Lorde.
Meadows?
No, Audrey Lorde.
Hepburn?
I think that's an actor.
I've read many biographies about her. Which one are you reading?
Not I've been
For a
reading.
while, they had a bookmobile that would come to my street. I don't know if you even know what a bookmobile is.
It's like a car that has books.
It's a little more than that. But I'd go inside and, they just had a limited selection, and I kind of read through a lot of their stuff. But, they had this young adult section, and, I just kind of hang out there, and I'd read these adventures of these, 14, 15-year-old girls. And I felt compelled by some of these stories.
Is it you're talking about like the Hunger Games?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Nancy Drew.
Okay.
Nancy Drew is, if she's been aging at the right speed, she's probably closer to my age than yours, and has probably turned into probably a captivating woman.
Seems strange to talk about the child's character in that way, but
I bet she's fucked one of those Hardy Boys.
I think that's like this is like fan fiction.
What do you mean?
Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle like fucks April
Okay,
from
so, you started speaking Chinese there for a second. Slow down. What is this?
um it's like if James Bond
Uh-huh.
fucked Eartha Kitt Catwoman,
Ugh.
but it's made up.
Can
I
you
don't know if,
send? Can you order me a copy to the studio?
I don't know if I can order like Smut to the college studio, but I
There
want to
goes that
live
word again. The word that's been haunting me throughout my years. Smut. I think I did a similar thing where I've written about 176 episodes of MASH that were never filmed.
That's fan fiction.
Okay, so I am a fan fiction author.
Yeah, you totally are.
Would you like to join me in reading one of them?
Just because you work here more so, I don't think I can read like your porn. I would love to hear it in the voice of
It was a
the
long
author.
day at the 4077 unit. Captain John Diesel was new on the job, and replacing Hawkeye Pierce was no easy task in the surgery room, not to mention elsewhere on the base. But camaraderie was the furthest thing from his mind right now. An unexpected barrage of shellfire caused a medic truck doing a routine run-in to stop an order for its driver and passengers to get themselves out of the truck and take cover. Diesel, who had been affectionately nicknamed Quill by his peers due to his constant poetry writing, had noticed that one of them was Margaret Houlihan, who the guys called Hot Lips. Quill had heard that she had a broken heart after Hawkeye Pierce left, but this was something entirely different. By the way, this takes place after Hawkeye Pierce leaves the 4077. She was laying on the ground and in pain. She had been hit by shell fire in her upper thigh. Thankfully, Quill wasn't just a poet. He was an equally skilled surgeon. Quill quipped, "Being in the hospital is like being with an expensive hooker. It's $1,000 a night, and when you wake up, your gallbladder's missing." Later that night, the MASH unit's commanding officer, Colonel Sherman T. Potter, was enjoying some small talk with Corporal Max Klinger. Captain Honeycutt and Major Winchester were inside the officers' club, enjoying the music from Nurse Kelly's ukulele, but Quill was sitting alone. He couldn't get Hot Lips out of his mind, and he decided to go check on her. "Where you going, Quill?" the wry Honeycutt asked. "To give Hot Lips my book of poetry," Quill replied. A smiling Quill walked into the recovery tent and placed his gentle hand on her cheek and asked, "Well, Major Houlihan, how are you feeling so far?" "Oh, I'm feeling okay, now that I have such a wonderful doctor like you." She had gently placed her hand on top of Quill's and looked at him with starry eyes. Quill was smitten. Maybe it was the alcohol or the chaos of war, but something about the pure beauty on her face caused Quill to give her a deep and passionate kiss on the lips. Houlihan was startled, but the grip on Gentle's hand tightened, and suddenly, she was in love. Now, is that smut?
You wrote this?
I this is uh, this is not an actual episode of MASH. I wrote this.
MASH is like a TV show, though, no?
It's the longest running TV show in the world, you idiot. But it's not smut. Houlihan began tonguing him thoroughly. Moving a curtain to make sure that none of the other patients were going to be disturbed, Gentle had stripped off all of her clothes and took a moment to stare at her perfect naked body. It didn't take long for me to realize why they called her Hot Lips as I began pumping my fingers in and out of her steaming, sopping, wet vagina. I peeled my clothes off my body and she began licking my stiffy like she was trying to clean off a hot wing. My mouth was like Magellan with a vulva to explore, so I set sail in the 69 direction. I pressed my tongue into the slit of her gash and she was so wet I felt like I was trying to clog a crack in the Hoover Dam. She begged me to give her my stone-hard dick, so I gave it to her. As I thrusted and thrusted my rod into her insides, I took the cold stethoscope and I shoved it right
John,
into her.
John, I just don't know if sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I don't know if we can really air any of this.
I mean, it's airing. This is not pre-recorded. This
I'm
is,
saying if we're allowed to.
well, I'm the host of the show. You know, it might not be the classic Java Jazz format, but I think people are enjoying this.
I just want to make sure, I mean, that we're aware kind of it's kind of like 7:35 in the morning.
As I thrusted and thrusted my rod into her insides, I took the cold stethoscope and shoved it into her bullet wound so I could finally hear what a climax sounded like from the inside. Everybody at the 4077 was awoken by the screams. Me and Loretta Swit fell asleep with our naked arms in a lover's embrace. The next morning, Quill avoided making eye contact with Colonel Potter, who was surely awoken by the screams the night before. Quill went to sit by himself, as he always does, but he was quickly joined by the other fellas. "Can I help you?" Quill asked nonchalantly. "Yeah. Can I borrow that poetry book of yours once Houlihan is done with it?" The end.
Good, yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Yo, campus fam, real talk. Holding on to those books past their due date? That's a vibe check fail, no cap. Our library's gotta stay bussin' with knowledge, so return those books on time. Let's keep it 100 and make our study game strong for everyone. Spread the word, squad. # book responsibly, because we're all in this college hustle together. And we are back here on the John Gentle Show. I am here now being joined by a special guest, a student here on the City College of Passaic campus. Becky, welcome to the John Gentle Show.
Thank you so much for having me, John. It's a pleasure to be here and to be discussing matters that are important to the Passaic students. And of course, with Terry Gross looking over the conversation.
Yeah. You know, I should probably put, I have a framed photo of Hot Lips Houlihan at home.
It would be nice to have a woman of color.
Yeah, we could just get rid of that. And next week I'll throw up a Hot Lips Houlihan framed photo.
I don't know who that is.
Thing that you were looking for an opportunity to talk about something you're fighting for here on campus. I was like, wow, that's just like me. And our hair's kind of the same.
Yes, kind of. Yes, I'm here on behalf of the LGBTQIA society.
Okay.
And
Can you just, for my sake, what are those?
Yeah, it is the Lesbian Gay Association for all-inclusive types of people.
But there's a bunch of other letters.
So we are fundraising to build a center. It would kind of be like a WeWork, but for the LGBTQIA students.
That's incredible. I don't know what a WeWork is.
Oh, it's kind of like a successful, have you ever heard of parallel play for children?
No.
So when children play alongside one another, but they're playing with different activities, they're doing different things, it's called parallel play. And I think WeWork built really successfully on this idea by saying, oh, adults can come here and can work on their own projects alongside each other.
That's really fantastic.
Thank you.
Back in my day, we just called that a happening.
Were you involved in kind of at these happenings? Were you involved in kind of the queer scene of your time, I assume, as a gay man?
I'm straight, but
How do you know?
I don't know why people would think I'm gay. But I take that as a compliment.
Totally. I love that.
And
Slay, Queen Mama. Slay, Queen Mama.
slay, Queen Mama. Do you know anything about this queer code? Never mind. Now, is this fully approved by the campus, or do you need signatures? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, the campus goes where the money goes. So they basically have said that if we can get the money together, they really have no choice but to sign off on it. I mean, they are just, capitalist pigs feeding at the sloth trough. And so what we are looking for now is that money. We're asking people to ask their rich parents, friends. We all have them. Every single one of us, even the poor people, have them. And I've actually kind of met a lot of the community around Passaic because I'm the one talking to like the contractors to build the buildings.
The laymen's.
Yes.
Or laywoman's or lay third things.
Yes, lay days.
Yeah.
So we're looking for money. There is a link in my account. It's my Venmo. It's on my Instagram page. And you can just Venmo me and I
got to pause you right there. Can you put that into English for me?
Yeah, sorry. Just the producer here. He mostly uses just his landline. So
vintage.
Well, that's
he's
not
not
true.
gonna get that.
I have an
Retro.
Instagram page that I go to the library and use their computer, and I follow a lot of local teams that I like to support. The Passaic community and some dancers that I know, and just friends I make.
Awesome. I do think it's really important to stress here that Instagram does have like a code of conduct. Just because when you say like local community talent, it's
I follow my the high school volleyball team and stuff.
I don't think that we should alienate pedophiles like yourself from society entirely. I think that it's important to be able to have these conversations.
Let's pause this. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not a pedophile.
No, of course.
I'm not a pedophile. It's
There's
serious.
a different
I'm not
term. The teen, looking up the teens. Sorry, I bet your producer could look up. There's a term for it. It's not pedophilia. It's when you're attracted to teenagers.
Sure.
Ephebophilia.
Yes. And we don't want to.
Guilty as charged, Your Honor.
I don't know if you might want to cut that out of the episode.
It is John. It is a crime.
Yeah,
Still.
it's not.
Well, not guilty. I plead not guilty, Your Honor. of being a pedophile.
But yeah, so if you donate to our center, like we will be facilitating a lot of conversations because I mean, look at how much you just learned 2 new words and I'm imagining 3 different misdemeanors. And that kind of education will only improve because we really want this to be a place of coming together, casual hangs, like we imagine open mics, poetry, dance, galleries,
well, hold on. Let's
but
hold the
also
phone.
education on
There's
different
going to be an
things.
open mic on the college campus.
Yes, in the center.
Where can I give money to this? Because
My Venmo on my Instagram.
Okay, you're gonna have to write a mailing address that I can send you a check to.
He just mostly uses cash again. Sorry about that.
I could give you cash if you just tell me where you live.
I think cash is a waste of resources, so I try as a practice not to accept.
Well, some professions only take cash.
But yeah, so the open mic will not be a space for straight white men, but we will make an exception for really troubled straight white men like yourself. So I think you would be more than welcome there.
Okay. I'll take what I could get. I'm constant. I don't know if you know this about me. I'm a poet, creative writer and stuff. And thank you. That's what I like to hear. Applause is so harsh on the ears, but when you get a bunch of these, it sounds like a babbling brook.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm one with nature. I'm constantly under my little tree on campus, and I'm scribbling in my pad, and just daydreaming about things. And it'll be so nice after being banned from the local cafe that hosts the open mic night because I take up too much time on the stage. That now I will have a kind of my own. I've always said that the open mic is kind of like a classroom, and since I've lost my teaching position, you're all kind of giving me a new classroom so that I could talk to all these gay kids about my life.
Yeah, I mean, we also will have time limits, but like each person. But I think it's such a shame that the cafe just extradited you.
Close-minded people.
Yeah, when they could have, asked you, why do you want to take up so much time? Right?
And I'll say, honestly, because I'm lonely.
Yeah. See, that's so nice. It's so funny to meet someone so self-aware.
Yeah.
It's nice to talk to someone so self-aware. Do you feel as though you want to take steps to change that and explore your sexuality and explore, why you are so lonely and drawn to teenagers?
Well, the way you put it makes me sound like a real pervert. And I don't think...
It's hard to have a mirror held up. That's why most people just like taking a selfie. You can edit it. That's a quote you can find on my Instagram, @BeautifulBecky.
Beautiful Becky.
I think maybe to reduce the stigma, we shouldn't use the term pervert. We can just say a febophile.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, because people are just so sex negative these days, frankly. And that's maybe the most offensive thing to me. So, maybe that is what I will speak to. Maybe this is the common ground I can find with all the little twinks on campus.
It brings a smile to my face hearing you say twink because
I
feel like you're coming into yourself, which you would not be a twink because you're fatter than a twink.
I'm only using the term twink so casually because someone much wiser than me informed me that twinkle toes is an offensive term.
And you are allowed to say that word because you're very up in the air sexually. If you were just straight, I would maybe draw a line in the sand, mothering all day and serving cunt all night. The gay man. And his trusty sidekick, the bi woman, Beautiful Becky.
I do have...
my Instagram is @BeautifulBecky, and the bio is bi sidekick. 2 gays. Everywhere.
Cunt, serve cunt, bitch. I do
Just
have.
want to refocus us. Yeah, just
Yeah,
maybe we can refocus for a little bit
this is
because
a
we
good
only do
point.
have so much time
Mm.
on
I
the
do have a
air on the
question
show.
about the architecture of the building.
Oh, thank you so much. I am really, really inspired by like what mega mansions have done.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to like, like Kim Kardashian's house, how it looks both like nothing and also like disgusting at the same time.
Mm-mm.
That's what we're going for. Like clean lines, like a vacant office space.
I like to look out on my little tree, and I wouldn't mind looking at a new building.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want it to be an eyesore or something, and that's maybe
No,
more
it won't
important
be.
than the people that it will be serving, because it will be
No, I
seen
totally
by
agree.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm getting my minor in design. So you will not have to worry about an eyesore on my hands.
Well, there we go. And now, where's the placement of the building going to be?
Do you know where the nurses building is?
Ah, yes.
It's right where there's kind of this like big patch of land and there's a tree there and it's going to be right there. And so you're going to be able to see it right from the path, and we'll be right next to the nurses, which I think will probably behoove us a lot in case anyone gets injured during some of the self-defense classes that I plan on teaching.
So it'll take where the little tree is.
It's like a medium-sized tree, but yeah, we're going to take it.
It once was a very little tree, but if you have been on the campus for decades, you
have not.
seen it grown, and it gives a nice view of the entire campus.
Yeah, actually, we really wanted to honor that tree because that's what first drew me to the space. And so we are going to be using all of the branches and the wood to make kind of like a stair, I guess is the best word
stair.
for it, a stair up into the front door.
Well, look, and it can't be built anywhere else. This is.
And I thought you liked gay people and you wanted them to succeed.
I
Yeah.
want gay people to succeed, but I'm also somebody that believes in nature. Allow me to borrow your ear for a moment. Beneath the tender embrace of the bright blue Passaic sky, nestled within the hallowed grounds of academia, there stands a modest arboreal sentinel, a teeny tiny testament to the passage of time and the quiet wisdom that dwells within its leafy canopy. I hear the leaves aflutter under the gentle whispers of the breeze in the springtime. My aging soul finds solace in the company of this silent confidant. In its shade, I find refuge and muse.
Sorry?
Weaving tales of yesteryears and dreams yet to be born. I feel the gentle leaves of autumn rain over me like dollar bills rain over Delilah when she hits the stage at Platinum Dolls. The ethereal dance of shadows and sun conjures a vision of the exotic Serafina whose sequin tassels, reflecting the bright stage light of Silk's Gentlemen's Club, shine in my eyes. Its waving limbs in the wind bring to mind the lanky and flexible redhead Pippa, who sadly retired or maybe moved to a different club last year. I feel the bitter cold within the tree as I give it my warmth in my daily winter hug. I touch its rough edges and feel my own dry, weathered fingers that smell of old book, rough from the scars of time. And underneath the bark, a freezing core, just like my lonely heart. My little tree.
You are more than welcome to share that at our open mic. I can't guarantee it will be it will be received.
I'm not gay. I just want to put that out there. And would I be welcome if I were just fully a straight ladies' man who loves just ladies?
You would be welcome to come and learn from us. I think an opportunity
Would
there
I be welcome to share?
No, but an opportunity could arise for you to listen.
You see, look,
And I
believe
do
the
want to
campus is a
apologize.
melting pot. And it seems like you're trying to make the campus a cornucopia.
You are trying to say that our gay center should be in a corner.
I'm trying to say it would fit well in a corner. It'd be like right over here. There's a nice.
That's
blank
right
spot.
next to the landfill. So you think
Yeah.
that gay people are trash?
I think that gay people could occupy that space, and frankly, I walk by it every day. It doesn't smell that bad. But
It
you've
smells
got this
horrible.
whole- well,
I don't know why you don't think it smells bad.
There's another place right here. We can maybe redirect some of the street parking near the car park DM, and build maybe additional parking for staff. Maybe beneath the gay center, and like. Frankly, I think calling it a gay center is limiting. I think it could be for disabled students. I think it could be for
You don't think a
many
disabled
Puerto
person can
Ricans.
be gay?
I think a disabled person deserves our love, whether they are gay or not.
You really are just saying the most polemic thing you can say.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Thesaurus. Look,
I'm concerned because out of everything I've heard you say so far, you expect us to welcome you and your big, long stories with open arms, but yet you want us by the landfill.
well, it seems like you're ready to throw my little tree into a landfill. Just
No,
to
we are
build
building
your
it a
structure.
step. We're using it as a step.
What?
John, you have to be realistic. It's one side of the campus is a landfill. Gay people don't like parking lot 2 because of the haunted performing arts center.
Well,
that used to be there.
what about the Desi community? Why aren't we building a shrine to our Indian population?
So
There is a Desi center inside the corner of the student center.
But if you want us to move that out to the little tree, we can do that as well. So you're okay with the little tree being destroyed as long as it's not for the gay community?
I don't want the little tree to be destroyed for any reason because I'm a lover of nature.
Do you think that gay people should be able to get married?
Depends.
Depends on what?
My little tree.
Depends on your little tree?
Depends on what happens to it. I don't want it to see it torn down. I believe that trees have a right to live just like everyone.
Okay, I of course have many houseplants that I also feel a connection with, and I am, again, if anything, a rehabilitative, reasonable Virgo queen. And so, what if we were to build the center around the tree, honoring this harmony of nature?
I don't think you
speak of?
understand. When I sit at my little tree, I like to observe the entire campus. I don't like to observe
The gay people? You don't like to observe the gay
I
community?
love to observe gay people, especially certain
What are you
types.
doing with your hand?
I'm rubbing my legs because I'm getting stressed out. I'm not touching myself. If
It
that's what
doesn't
you're
look
implying.
like, obviously, if your hand's going under there, and we've been talking, and I've opened myself up to talking about sexual nefarity with you, I don't know if you're under there doing something weird. And I
And
would like
let's
to
just
check
say
all my bases.
A febophilia.
No,
again,
I
sorry.
love spirited debate, and so I'm willing to sit here and talk about this with you, just like I was your feeling for teenage girls. But I think if you push me on it, I do have friends in high places, and I wouldn't hesitate to direct them to your library computer and ask them to check your search history.
Did my words mean nothing to you?
When?
When I waxed poetic about my beautiful little tree.
I didn't know what was happening then. So I do have to, there are times when one has to protect oneself and disassociate, which is what
maybe
I
I
did.
should have read a piece about AIDS, which I
John,
have
what if-
written.
John, what if the tree
Wrote
was
a piece about AIDS.
Yes, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, he calls it his cultural oral history of downtown
Oh,
New
you read it?
York. No, you read it after the last recording session. John, what if the tree was sculpted into a very kind of modest young looking woman? Would you like that better?
I'm not trying to fuck the tree.
Well, we don't know what you're trying to do with it.
I use it. I explain clearly what the tree means to me, and if this LGGGG whatever
LGBTQIA.
again with these,
Oh, yeah. To make fun of the acronyms, that's very, very retro of you. It's very, very funny.
I'll give you an acronym. OMDB, over my dead body. OYDB is also a fun acronym.
What is that? Over your dead body. So that's a threat to me.
I don't threaten. I make promises. Not that I'm making that promise to you, but don't think I haven't taken.
Is there anything that you want to admit to on air?
I admit to being a lover of nature.
Except when it comes to the people's nature.
I don't know if that's natural, if you ask me. Well, this has been a fun edition of the John Gentle Show.
You really are a bigot.
Look, I am anything.
You're a
but
self-hating bigot.
I am. If anything, when I watched All in the Family, I said I hate Archie Bunker when everybody was saying he was lovable.
Know what that is.
Well, you need to educate yourself.
I'm busy educating myself on things that matter.
Well, they had one gay episode, so.
Out of how many?
And it ran for about, I believe, 8 seasons, unless you count the Archie Bunker's Place, which was sort of a continuation of.
I thank you so much for having me on the show. I think the students can really understand what is the right course of history today. I thank the producer for being on my side, obviously. And yeah, thank you for giving me this platform. I certainly will find other platforms to have as well.
And now I don't have time to read my poem, but I do suggest that you check out the Sammy Davis Jr. episode of All in the Family, because it is a laugh riot. And, so sometimes things get taken too far, and I will fight for my little tree till the day someone dies.